moving forward, now that that's out the way. Sorry to bore you people with that, but obviously someone had to hear that. I don't know who. You know, we live on the most beautiful planet and most abundant planet in our solar system. And we're the custodians of it. We human beings, doesn't matter what colour you are or what race you are, it's irrelevant. We are all custodians of the planet if we're born here. Yep. Which means we have a responsibility to the planet and to each other. Yep. So in a world that's backwards, how do we communicate with people that are in a state of reverse all the time? Maybe use reverse psychology, you know, one of the most powerful things there are. You know, don't argue with people about how bad these things are. Support them in their decisions. Yeah, I think you should get it. Yeah, definitely you should go and get that. I'm not going to do it, but I think you should definitely do it because, you know, you're very convinced and you should follow your beliefs. And, you know, based on my beliefs, I'm not going to do it because of my research, but you should definitely do it. Go on. And a bit of reverse psychology, right? Because they're so backwards and they're programmed to attack or to defend themselves against anything that's outside of their official narrative, right? So they're always ready to fight and argue with people. So just use reverse psychology. Yeah, man, I think, yep, you should definitely go and get that thing and let us know how it goes, you know? So reverse psychology is really powerful, right? So a lot of people don't understand what I do or why I do things. Sometimes I might be using reverse psychology. Sometimes I might not. But that's the beautiful thing about people having their own common sense and ability to discern the information that's coming, right? What have we got here? This is what happens when I don't write everything down in like proper order. I just sort of jump from one thing to the other. I wish people would start commenting because I'm not seeing any comments coming up at all. I don't know why. It says comments will appear here, but there's nothing appearing. So anyway, it's interesting. If there's anyone out there who doesn't understand some of the words that I use in my videos, I highly recommend you get yourself a dictionary and a decent, thick dictionary. One of the most interesting things in the world is a dictionary. When you actually look at words and learn things we understand and we grow and we get more confident as we learn. So I highly recommend people all have a dictionary in their house and a Malways or a roadmap of their state and country. Yeah, just in case anything ever happens and power goes out. But definitely get a dictionary. And I've got chickens all through the house. Hang on. Look at these guys. Wait. What are you doing? I just glued that. Get out. Get off there. Look at these things. Out, out, out. Lucky they provide eggs. I'm just finishing off my table here. It's pretty cool. Oop. Rotate device. Right, this is the, actually maybe I should start another video. One thing I want to say to people who are sitting on the fence, right, about, oh, I'm too scared to speak because I might lose my job, or, you know, they might come after my family, or they might do this, or they might do that if I speak out and speak the truth. The truth is, they're already coming after your family. The truth is, they're already coming after you. The truth is, that job that you think you're going to hang on to, it's pretty much already gone. Even if you're a doctor or a lawyer, what do you think is going to happen when there's no people left? you're going to have no one left to defend or to treat, right? So it doesn't matter what industry you're in. So it's in your best interest to keep things going, yeah? I mean, in a free sense, keep people alive. But don't worry about what might happen, because by 2030, their plan is that no one's going to own anything. None of us, right? You're going to lose it. Yeah? You're going to lose your jobs, you're going to lose your house, you're going to lose all this stuff, because you're all silently acquiescing and you're keeping your mouth shut and you're not speaking about what you know you should be speaking about and what's the truth and what's right. Yeah, because you're afraid. The truth is, if you don't speak, it's already gone. They're already attacking your family. Yep, with all the stuff they're trying to put into people and spray in the sky and put in the foods and in the water. Yep. Censorship of free speech, censorship of media. You're already under attack. You have been for quite a while, but now it's just becoming much more overt. So don't fear, oh, they might come and attack me or do this to my kids. They're already doing it to your children. Already, right now, yeah? Now, if you send your children to school, right, apparently that's classified as consent, yeah, to them getting the lethal injection. Apparently. Just by you sending them to school on the day that they're going to be giving those injections. Even if you don't know or haven't been told that that's going to be the day. Just by sending them there, apparently that's your consent. I wouldn't, if I had a choice, I wouldn't be sending my children to any state schools. I wouldn't have my kids in school right now at all, period. Flat out. But that's easier said than done, But people need to start looking at alternatives to, to government systems. And maybe that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to force people to wake up. There's no money left there. And, everyone takes the piss out of Dan Andrews and ScoMo and all that, and, we all do it. But what if they're not in control? Because they're not. They're just talking puppets. What if we're completely occupied? Or if it's not done this way, it's going to be done another way. You know what I mean? We've got to consider the fact or the idea that those people aren't in control. They're just doing what they're told, yeah? And if they don't do what they're told and people rise up, then there might be some other kind of repercussions for the country. I don't know. All I know is that in order for people to survive this and thrive and come out even better than what we were before, we need to come together as a collective humanity. Yep. Doesn't matter what flag you stand under. Doesn't matter what Bible you read or what church you go to or don't go to. Doesn't matter what spiritual practices you do. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Love thy neighbour as you love yourself, the highest principle of everything. It's really simple. It's really basic. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we can try using cash only, going back to cash, even though it's the fiat system, it still takes it away from, for a period of time until something else is implemented. Takes it away from the control mechanisms of the intranet of things and surveillance. But yeah, there's nothing to fear. Your children, your families, everyone's already under attack. Yeah, it's just not the kind of attack that you think it is, because you've been programmed to believe that this attack, it's always done with guns and this and that. Well, that's not what modern day warfare is about. That's the sideshow to keep you believing that you're not actually in war, when in actual fact you are. Genocide. And it's happening on a global scale. This isn't just, Terra Australis or Gondwana land or whatever you want to call it. This is worldwide. So, Yeah, and if somewhere doesn't accept cash, don't shop there. If somewhere forces you to wear a face nappy, don't shop there. Yeah, vote with your money. Okay? Vote with your money. If there's a place that doesn't allow you to freely spend your money there, then just don't do it. Yep. And that business will close down. And that's their own doing. Yep. They're not standing on their own 2 feet for acquiescing to tyranny. And then we go into the power of belief. Yep. Desire. I might do a whole video on this one to its own. Stop acquiescing, stop acquiescing, stop acquiescing. There's nothing to lose. Use your voice. Yep. They're coming after you. They're coming after your property. They're coming after your children. They're coming after everything. Right? And half of them don't realise they're doing it. And this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about something with the lethal injection they're handing out. Don't think that they won't give people placebo shots or saline shots in order to have those people go, oh yeah, well, especially the people in authority, right? Especially the people on the front lines. Because if they give them a placebo or a saline shot, they're going to think that, well, nothing happened to me, so they're going to think that that's all right, that it's there's nothing wrong with it, right? And then what they're going to do is be more reinforced in their beliefs that it's okay to force it on other people. So just be mindful that, you know, your frontline workers and those people getting these things may, or a lot of them, may only get a placebo. Yep. Because that reinforces the brainwashed belief that what they're doing is right. Yep. It gives them an experience or a perceived experience that it's fine. Yep. So you've had the old geoengineering going a couple of times. I took another video today. You saw the live video I did yesterday or the day before. Yeah, so they've been going pretty hard over me here, which is always nice, you know, adds a different dimension to the sky there. So thanks for that, guys. And you know, nothing a bit of tobacco won't fix. Yeah, keep the lungs nice and closed up, so they don't soak in all that other crap. Maybe, I don't know. Just a theory of mine. It's how I justify it to myself. What else have we got going on? I don't know. There's so much going on, you know. Yeah, there's so much happening worldwide. What's the latest, dumbest thing that they've done that people are believing? Oh, the 3rd jab, yeah? The super strain's come about, it's mutated, and so we're going to need, well, people are going to need a 3rd lethal injection maybe. So what they're going to do is they're just going to keep on giving them to you until you can't go and get another one, basically, in my opinion. You know, because we've got robots now looking after the quarantine. Robots. Is that true? Is that even happening? Wow. So realistically, everyone who is now out of work, who has been forced to close down their business, who has been forced onto welfare payments that they are going to use to coerce you to get your lethal injection, all those people are now redundant, right? So all those people are basically, maybe 90% of the population is just working to sustain the rest of the population and their addictions and their needs for, you know, all this comfort and all this extra 10 houses and all this stuff that people have, you know, all the 4 cars and, You know, got to have this and got to have that and got to, you know, consume. So all these consumers, probably like 90% of the population, basically are nothing more than a burden on the planet now, according to them, right? So they're not necessary anymore. Basically, if they can shut down 90% of production and 90% of business and all that, then all those people on welfare are redundant. What purpose do you serve besides taking from the planet? Yeah, I don't know. So that's why those 90% are going to be coerced into getting the lethal injection, yeah, to get their payments. Yeah, so it's by consent in their system. They're consenting to it because they're doing it. And that's how they're going to liquidate their company. Right? Because remember, Australia, the corporation, is just a company, right? And all the people, or most of the people, or persons, I should say, to be correct, legally speaking, most of the persons are excess stock that are just going to cost them money now. Yep, there's no purpose for them except costing money, right? That's why we're seeing so many elderly people dying. Besides the fact that elderly people die because they're old, you know, they're all getting the lethal injections in the homes, you know, and then they're getting their lethal injections, and then there's an outbreak of the new whatever it is. Yeah, interesting times we're living in, I'll tell you. What I was thinking I'd like to do is crowdfund for the Ark here. So, you know, I get a few people through here, and you know, everyone's got great ideas. You know, most of the things I've already thought of, and it's not. I don't have all these extra things or things that we need, like, you know, bore water, and I don't have all these things. Not because I don't want them or because they would be good for a community, but simply because A, I don't have the cash, and B, I don't have the time, because I'm just one man, you know. So if people are feeling or thinking that one day they may end up here for a period of time, if they can no longer afford their house payments, or they basically whatever, I don't know, you know, need somewhere to be, I'm thinking of getting a crowdfund going so we can get a bore water and get some community spaces happening, you know, so we can get a bit of a kitchen going outside and get some bathrooms and stuff set up. So I don't know if people want to donate their time or their money. You know, I know a lot of people can't get out here, but they might like to hold it in the back of their mind that one day they might like to get out here if they need to, you know. So if people would like to contribute, maybe I'll put a crowdfund together and people contribute financially, so I can also use that to stock up on rice, yeah, food, grain, and basically the essentials, so that we can sustain a community until we can get proper gardens going and all that sort of thing. Because again, I'm only one man. I can't do gardens and get all this stuff going, and I've got very, very limited resources. So yeah, if people are feeling or thinking that one day they may end up here, please come and contribute. And people are already coming contributing. They're bringing trees and plants and you know, helping around the place, and that's all we need, you know. So yeah, we'll get there. And I think it's going to be a really interesting winter for a lot of people, especially when they cut off the support payments for a lot of people's welfare. You know, people are relying on that money to pay for their mortgage or their rent, and that's not going to be sustained forever. So anyway, better to get in early and get things set up than having people doing it really tough, you know, having to come and basically sleep on the ground because I don't know, whatever reason. But anyway, what else is going on? I really wish I could see comments here, but I just can't. I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to do a test comment. Test. I'll put that on. Yeah, so mine come up. Why is my comment the only comment that comes up? Is anyone else actually commenting? Is anyone else even watching, or are these all just robots and programs? So I'll just put a comment that says test, and it's come up. So either no one's commenting, or they're all being blocked. I'm seeing some likes there from an unknown face, or Facebook face with nothing there. Anyway, censorship. You know, it just goes to show how much they're lying, yeah? Because if they're worried about people on Facebook speaking the truth, and they've got the mainstream media, one of the most powerful media weapons one of the most powerful things in the world. It controls the minds of the entire population, basically those who watch it. That's what controls their mind. You know, I was listening to some music the other night, just before I went to bed. And I woke up in the morning, and the song that I listened to last was playing through my head still when I woke up. I was like, woke up and I was almost singing the song. So this is the programming, right? This is the programming of the mind. You know, you listen to your favourite song before you go to bed, and you wake up and you're hearing it. It's the same thing when you're watching the news, and you watch it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a day, and it cements it in your brain, and it's going around whether you're thinking about it consciously or not. And then people start talking about it, you know, and it becomes a reality for them in their mind. But that's the power of just music, news, anything. And music doesn't even have a visual. So when you've got the visual as well as the audio, you know, it's just literally washing your brain with that information. It's imprinting your brain with all that information, and then that's what's in your brain. So that's what becomes your reality, right? Of course, there's many people out there who watch that, you know, that stuff so that they can gauge where they're at and get an understanding of what's going on, and who can discern the information and see straight through the nonsense, yeah? So, anyway, I just don't know why I'm not getting any comments. Someone's given me a thumbs up on my comment, but I still don't see any comments coming up. It's happened the last few times I've done lives, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway. What else is happening around the world? What's happening in Australia? Tomorrow should be an interesting day. You know, we've had a weekend, and they've rolled out the, you know, those things last week. I read that there was 17,500 or 20,000 administered so far. I'd like to see the stats on that, how they're going. And don't forget, just because you don't get a side effect in a day or 2 days or 5 days or even 5 weeks, doesn't mean that 5 months or 5 years down the track, something's not gonna happen, you know, because apparently what they're doing and what they're putting in people actually attacks their immune system and suppresses their immune system from being able to fight anything that comes in later. So that's something we need to be mindful of. But you know, I always say, if you feel it's for you, then you should definitely take it, right? I certainly don't recommend people not taking it if they feel that's their journey and they feel that that would make them safe in life, and they feel that that's what they need to do. I highly recommend that those people do it, you know, and yeah, you know, exercise your free will choice to do that. So, you know, much respect to their free will and their right to choose. You know, because it's all about the right to choose. It's all about the right to choose. It's all about the right to say yes and the right to say no. And, you know, that's kind of it. So it all stops. It all ends when everyone comes together and says no more. It ends, yeah, and we get to start again. But until enough people have gone through enough pain and loss and grief and suffering in order for them to go into that darkness, in order for them to grow and come out of it and have their awakening, well, you know, we're going to keep going around this wheel of fortune. What are they going to pull out next? What are they going to spin up next? You know, what's next? You know, next thing they'll be doing anal swab tests with something like that. I don't know. Who knows? You know, I don't know what they're going to come up with next. It's going to be. If you don't know what's going on by now, I'll break it down for you. The people in charge, the real people in charge, not ScoMo and Dan Andrews and fucking whatever. The real people in charge, behind the scenes, the people you don't ever hear about, they're taking the absolute piss out of you. The media's doing it. Well, even the politicians are doing it. I mean, they're in on the joke. They're taking the piss out of the population. It's like April Fool's on repeat. And to be honest, when you're standing outside or you can see what's going on and it's so clear and it's so obvious, you've got to ask yourself, like, how are these people so controlled? And then I suppose you get, 12 years of school, yeah, indoctrination. And then if you go to Bible studies or, you know, you go to church, you get more indoctrination. Or you go to university, city, yeah, one verse, one script, one sound, one script. Yeah, you're all reading off the same script, so you get this mass amount of people reading off the same script who all believe the same things, who get marked high grades for basically repeating something someone else has said and done, you know. And they get incentivized to follow the money, you know, in their jobs, which is always corrupt, you know. In order to get the big money, you got to do the nasty stuff. So I'm kind of rambling on at the moment. Chickens have got something to say. Sounds like one of them's laying an egg outside. Might be my dinner. You know, this is just a bit of a rant and a rave. I had heaps of stuff written down and notes and all that, but I just kind of felt like rambling, you know. But the thing we got to remember is that in order for us to we've got to remember who we are. We've got to remember to set boundaries, yeah? We need our men to remember that it's okay to be a man and set boundaries. Like, the dads should be walking into the principal's office at school. Don't worry about your paperwork. Don't worry about your, this and I'm going to do you know, because the courts are corrupt as shit and they just support corruption because they're the worst. You know, the judges and the politicians, because they know what's going on. They know it's a fraud. They know it's corrupt and what they're doing wrong, but they continue supporting it because the police continue to enforce it. The police look up to the judges and the politicians to go, oh, what do? We don't know what we're doing. Are we doing the right thing? And then the politicians and the judges go, oh, good boy, you're following the orders and you're good boy, yes, you're doing the right thing. I had this one cop in the stand in court the other day, and he'd been in the police force for 37 years. I don't know how long he's been acting as a public officer under colour of uniform as a police officer in that time, but he said he'd been in the police force for 37 years, and I said to him, have you ever read the Victoria Police Act? He goes, no. And so I'm 37. I said, how do you know what your boundaries are? How do you know what you can and can't do if you've never read the Victoria Police Act? 37 years he's been in the job. And then the judge, who basically said that they're just magistrates anyway, said in his closing statements that the police were doing great work and that they were honourable and all this stuff, and really gave him a good talking up, you know, like really, yeah, good on you guys. Because that's how it works. The politicians that control the mind, yeah, that's the unholy trinity, right? Politicians control the mind of the order followers, the ones who enforce it, the police, yeah, or the public officers. The police, public officers control the body, yeah. So you got the mind, the body, and then the courts that crush the soul when you try and get remedy and justice, you know, and what's right. So yeah, it's really really interesting how it works. The poor order followers have got no idea what they're doing, no idea what's going on. You know, they're just looking for someone else to tell them what to do, like fucking, oh, Dan, tell me what to do, or the judge said that I was right. And it's like, okay, have you read the law? Nah. Okay, well, you don't know what you're talking about. And he's lying. That judge is lying through his teeth and he knows it. Yeah? And so is that politician, and he knows it. It's just the people and the order followers that don't know it, because they're being programmed by the mainstream television and radio and newspaper. Yep. So anyway, what we need to do to move forward, yeah, is we need all those people who are, you know, judging and condemning others and going, oh, hey, you know, the way you're doing something isn't written in the Bible, so you can't do that. You know, you sound like you're one of the order followers. Oh, well, this is what the chief health officer's written, so I've got to do it, and you've got to do it too. Yeah, that's what you sound like when you're reading out of the Bible, or you're saying something, you're going, well, you know, you can't do it your way, and you can't be spiritual, and you can't do that because, you know, this writing here, this spell says you can't do it. So what we need people to do is to stop denigrating, stop discrediting, stop trying to make themselves look like something they're not. Look, it doesn't take much skill to read a book, okay? All you've got to be able to do is read, right? So it doesn't matter how many times you read that book, it doesn't give you any wisdom. Yeah, it might give you a little bit, it might give you a bit of guidance on how you should live, but don't tell people who know how they should live, you know, or, you know, even if we're not living how we should be living, you know, we know how we should be living. Don't tell people. Let's just come together, yeah? Stop denigrating. Stop getting off topic and dividing. No one cares, mate. To be truth be told, no one cares about my religion, no one cares about your religion, no one cares about anyone's religion or beliefs. All we've got to understand is we're one human family, yeah, and the highest law is love, if we're going to come out of this as a collective. If we're not, yeah, if you want to follow that narrative and divide yourself from your brothers and sisters based on how they live their life, which is between them and God anyway. It doesn't matter what religion you're in. How I live my life is between me and God. How you live your life is between you and God. I don't care how you live your life. It's got nothing to do with me. Don't worry about how I live mine and how I come to whatever it is that I'm doing, right? As long as I'm not harming other people, yeah, which I'm not, right? So let's come together. Yeah. Doesn't matter if you're Christian or Muslim or Buddhist or a spiritualist or an atheist, or you don't believe in anything. It doesn't matter. If you believe in the fact that you're a human being and you're there and you're sitting there watching this, yeah, you believe in the fact that you're a human being and that I'm a human being, and the person in the room next to you is a human being, and the person in the house next door, and all the rest of them are human beings, yeah, it doesn't matter what religion you are. If you love them, they're going to love you, yeah. Real simple. It's really, really basic, okay? You know, religion has been used to start and divide throughout history. It's been used to divide populations. It's one of the number one causes of war and murder. And if you think that you're murdering someone in someone else's name, well, you've been deceived. If you think it's okay to give that order in someone else's name, you've been deceived. If you think it's okay to carry it out in someone else's name, you've been deceived. Yep. Love thy neighbour as you love yourself. And you can't go wrong. Yep. Doesn't mean you can't have words when you have a disagreement, you have an argument and whatever. That shit happens, right? That's life. That's normal. That's how we grow. Yeah. But anyway. I'm hungry. I'm hungry and a little bit warm. How do I feel? What do I need? I feel a bit hungry. I feel pretty good. You know, I'd love to be at the beach. I'd love to be, you know, up at my dad's place surfing every day. But for some reason, I feel compelled to stay out here in the country and just, you know, have the space ready if people need it. You know? So I'll stay here for a while and we'll see what happens. Otherwise I'll just take off and go and live at the beach somewhere for a while. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, hope everyone's having a good day. I haven't really spoken too much about anything in particular or pertinent to what's going on out there because it's all the same crap, you know. Since day one of this scamdemic, I've been telling people it's a scam, it's nonsense, it's going to keep going forever. And the truth is it's going to keep going forever unless people stand up. Yep. And as long as you allow them, yeah, if they reduce half the population, then the other half's going to be real easy to control. Really, really easy to control. So you either stand up together, yep, stand united, or fall divided. But don't wait too long because it's already rolled out, right? It's already begun. It has begun. You know, even 6 months ago or a year ago, I was telling people that they're going to roll out these mandatory lethal injections and people just refused to believe it. 2 years ago, I was the biggest conspiracy theorist in the southern land. Yep. People thought I was crazy. People thought I was gaga. Seemingly because I got my information from a different information source than you or from them. You know? This is the mentality we're dealing with. It's like if you don't have the same belief that I've got, you must be wrong. That's the mentality of most people out there, whether it be religion, whether it be government, whether it be health, yeah, whatever it is, whether it be the hoax that's going on. You know what I mean? If people have a different belief to other people, then everyone makes the other person out to be wrong in order to justify themselves to be right, because, you know, they've based their life on that being right and living by that guideline and that book and that statute and that act. You know, it's got to be real. It's got to be right, because I've lived my whole life and I'm getting paid good money for it or whatever. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it may be right. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. Maybe the will of God that 90% of the population gets you know, made redundant, gets sent back to the earth for transmutation. Who knows? Maybe that's God's will. Maybe that's the divine creator's will. But if it was, I don't think I'd be here being divinely inspired to speak about it for so many years in the face of persecution and ridicule and condemnation from my own family, let alone friends, let alone strangers, not to mention the attacks on my literal attempted attacks on my life, yeah? The poisonings, the threats, you know? All because, apparently, it's a revolutionary act to speak the truth. Apparently, to speak the truth can condemn you to attack from outside. Well, I'd rather at least be attacked than know I'm being attacked than not know I'm being attacked and just live on my knees, you know? So, I don't know. You know, I've rambled on for long enough. Well, speaking of belief, you know, the power of belief is so strong. The power of belief is incredibly strong. You know, the reason we're in the situation we're in now is because of the belief that people have about this scamdemic. It's only the belief that has got people in the situation they're in right now. The whole thing is based on a belief. Yep. And where are all the religious pastors and sermons and priests? What are they telling their people? Do what the government says. Oh, just do what the government says and you'll be fine. Yeah, just comply and be a good boy and do what you're told by the government because they've got your best interests at heart and they work for... I know who they work for. And it's not the creator, it's the opposite. Because everything they're doing is the opposite to creation. Suppression, yeah, depression, yeah, death, slavery. That's what they're enforcing. So they can't be working for the creator because the creator is creation. Creation is free expression, right? Obviously they're not working for the creator. Not to mention the fact that they need to suppress and deceive and coerce and manipulate and bully people in order to follow it. Yep. If what they were doing was of the creator, they wouldn't need to do that. Would they? Mm-mm. If they need to deceive, then they're working for the deceiver. You know? And belief must be coupled with action, right? If we believe that our Creator is supporting us, we must take the first steps, yep, in order to give our Creator the opportunity to support us along the way and open the doors for us. But if we just sit down and wait based on that belief, it's never going to happen. I'm sorry to say it, it's never going to happen. If you believe that your Creator is supporting you, yep, and that and you've got faith, then you've got to take action steps in that faith in order for that to support you along the way, right? It's like, it doesn't matter how much you believe you're not going to get wet if it rains. If you stand outside and it starts to rain, you're going to get wet unless you take an action step. You believe you're not going to get wet even if it rains, so you take an umbrella. And it, you know, you see the rain clouds coming, so you put up that umbrella. Your belief, coupled with that action, stopped you getting wet. But if you just believe that you're not going to get wet if it rains, and you're standing outside without an umbrella, you're going to get wet. It doesn't matter what you believe. Yep. Natural law. Right? So your belief must be coupled with an action. Do not put all of your faith or much of your faith in any other man, ever, or woman. Don't expect someone else is going to do it for you, and someone's going to change this and someone's going to change that. No one's going to do it. Most people struggle to change things in their own life for themselves, and you think they're going to change things for you, for your better, to better you over themselves? I don't think so. Most people are just like you. Most people just want more for themselves and more for their family. They don't care what happens to everyone else. That's your government. That's the corporation. That's the medical industry. That's your doctors who know what's going on, but keep administering it anyway. Biggest war criminals on the face of the planet. Yep. Them and the public officers. Yep. Shame, 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 shame. So anyway, belief is really powerful. Belief is extremely powerful because it gives us the strength and the drive to persevere, with what we're doing. We believe that our Creator is guiding us on the way, and no matter what happens, we're going to be fine. And even if we're not fine in that moment, we're going to be fine. Even if we fall and that's the end of our physical body, we're still going to be fine. We're going to get caught in the hands of the Creator. So if you really have faith, then don't live in fear. And if I take off up to the surf, it's not because I'm living in fear. It's because I've been here for years and offered it, and still not much is happening. I'm just getting bored. It's just getting boring. So I might just go and live at the surf because that's what I want to do. I don't need to be living here, struggling. I don't need to do it. I'm only here in the event that other people need to come here. And it's hard work. So if I take off, it's not because I'm scared. It's just simply because I'm bored. I want to go and surf because that's what fills my soul. And I might just do that. I don't know. It's still ruminating around in my mind. And I can always come back here, I suppose. But we'll see. I'll keep creating. Anyway, that was a bit of a ramble. So thanks for watching. And take care. Please share if you like it or don't. All good. Thanks for your time. Thanks for all your hearts and your thumbs up. Pity there's not getting any comments coming through, but that's the censorship of the legislation, the rules, the spells, the spelling. So they should not have idols. They should not worship this. They should not worship those symbols. What do you think those 26 symbols of your alphabet are? They are symbols, signs. Designed to keep you under a spell of spelling. So one day we'll get into the I keep offering these people who come onto my page and write like 50 messages and comments and don't answer any questions, just write the same crap over and over. I keep offering them to do a video with me so we can discuss this, because I would really like to be able to have a discussion of spirituality and religion where we can have two people coming together and discussing the two, right? And trying to dispel and flush out some of the concerns and worries of these people, because obviously they're living in concern and worry, right? Because they're so worried about what other people are doing. So it'd be good to have a video with these people, but they seem to not want to for whatever reason. Fear, maybe, I don't know. Scared that a bit of logic and reasoning might dispel some of their long-held, deep-seated beliefs, yeah? And some of their beliefs might be 100% true. Maybe they're all true. Maybe I'm 100% wrong. I don't know. But nonetheless, I'm going to continue to stand in my power and work the way I work, because that's what's been working for me and will continue to work for me. And if anyone has an issue with that, please hit the unsubscribe and unfriend button, and no harm done, yeah? And that's how it rolls. So, but yeah, people have got to sort of, you know, again, as I was saying, like a couple of years ago when I was talking about the mandatory jabs that they're going to be bringing out, and all the geoengineering and the rainmaking and the poisons in the food and all the stuff I spoke about, that's now coming true, that people thought I was crazy about. Well, now I'm just speaking about things also a little bit ahead of time that most people are understanding. But when people start to comprehend the spelling that they're under, and the literal magic that's being done to them, and we can have those conversations openly, and people can start to understand that, and they can start to break the spells and get themselves out of that. Because, you know, that's what it's about. It's about understanding fundamentally what the issue is, where does it begin, and how, what am I, and that's it. You know, the fundamentals, foundations, which are really quite simple. But we have to have an open mind. We can't be closed off and bigoted or indoctrinated and just be singly focused, and that's it. We've got to be open to receiving and giving, yeah, and saying I'm wrong and you're right on that, but on this one you're off top, you're off the mark, and you know, so we've got to be open to be having these discussions. And yeah, that's kind of it. Comprehend there's different dimensions. Comprehend there's different dimensions in this world. People try and separate spirituality from the 3D world. The 3D world exists inside the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm exists inside the 3D realm. Yep. You can't have one without the other. Or you can have the spirit without the 3D. You can't have the 3D without the spirit. Yep. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was a sound. The sound is a vibration. The vibration is what holds matter together. Yeah. If you've ever watched any videos on cymatics or ever practiced cymatics, which is the effects of frequency on matter, of frequency and vibration on matter and water, and how it shapes it and what it does to it, you know. So we're in this sound vibration, which we're being held together by, you know, and that's it. So I can't remember where I was going with that, but anyway, I'll just drop my shell. Must be time for dinner. I've rambled on for way too long. Thanks for watching, and please share. Hope you're having a good weekend, and like to see some more people up at the Ark sometime soon. Hopefully some more people get here, and yeah, send me a message if you'd like to come or contribute somehow. I don't know if you're good at building, or I don't know, if you want to contribute money, if you can't get out here but you'd like to maybe come one day, and you think it's a good cause, send me a message, you know. Otherwise, that's about it. We will turn it into, it will be, once it's up and running, once we've got a kitchen and a toilet space and a communal space, we will be doing healing sessions for people, and we'll be doing all sorts of workshops and community spaces where we'll basically be running market spaces and yeah, community spaces. So lots of growth and healing and knowledge and wisdom to share, and that's what it's going to be about, is raising consciousness and vibration in people, and that's how we're going to start to change things. So thanks for watching, and please share, and many blessings and much love. Take it easy.